A lot of you Colorado fans are really delusional about Deion Sanders' future with this program. So a few days ago, I released a segment titled Why Deion Sanders is Going to Leave Colorado After This Season. And it's getting a lot of backlash because a lot of Colorado fans are calling it clickbait because Deion has came out several times publicly and said that he isn't leaving Colorado, even though he said the same thing when he was at Jackson State. Remember, at Jackson State, he said that he wasn't leaving Jackson State. He was trying to build something special down there. God put him there for a reason. Just to up and leave with all his Louis luggage to Boulder, Colorado. So if Deion Sanders lied about not leaving Jackson State, what makes you think that he's telling the truth about not leaving Colorado? There has never been a single coach in the history of college football that's been upfront about their future when it comes to staying or leaving with their current program. There are coaches every offseason that always deny rumors about them leaving for another job just to leave and take that job anyway. It's not the first or last time that a coach will lie about their future. Why is Deion Sanders going to be honest about his future in the middle of the season? If Colorado ends up having a 10-win season or they win the Big 12 title, Deion Sanders is definitely going to be up on out of there. But most likely, they're going to win anywhere between 8 to 10 games this year. And when that happens, you're going to have schools that are going to be interested in Deion Sanders' services because the thing with Deion Sanders is that Colorado, yes, he does want to win here. He does want to turn this program into a potential national championship contender. But that's if he doesn't get any opportunities from bigger programs elsewhere. Because the thing about Colorado that makes it hard to win here is that, first of all, it's really hard to recruit in Boulder. As beautiful as what that city and state is, it's not easy to entice recruits to want to play in Boulder. It would be a lot easier for Deion Sanders to sustain success and build up a championship caliber program if he takes one of the Florida jobs that potentially could be available, rather it be University of Florida, Florida State, or UCF. All three of those programs give Deion Sanders a better chance to win than what he has right now at Colorado due to their location in Florida. It would give him easy access to Florida recruiting, which he already knows the area pretty well because he is from Florida. He already has a lot of good relationships with high school coaches in the Florida area, especially Southern Florida. So leaving Colorado for any of those Florida jobs that come available would definitely be an upgrade for Deion Sanders in terms of his ability to have a shot at winning a national championship. Not saying he can't win a national title at Colorado, but it's a lot easier to do it elsewhere. Just because Colorado is a Power 4 job doesn't mean that it's as good as a job compared to other schools, because Colorado has limited resources compared to schools like Florida, Florida State, UCF, who have shown their commitment to football, who have shown their commitment to dishing out however much it takes to get top talent out of high school. And right now, Colorado currently has the worst recruiting class in the Big 12. I don't think the recruiting struggles are indicative of Deion Sanders' recruiting ability, because Deion, the past 3 years he's been a head coach, he's flipped 3 of the biggest recruits out of high school. Jordan Seaton was the #1 tackle in America last year. He flipped him. He flipped Travis Hunter. He flipped Cormani McClain. So if Deion Sanders can flip these 3 guys, he can recruit any of the best players in America. However, at the same time, even though his name is Deion Sanders, and that means that most recruits are going to give him an ear in terms of being recruited to go play for him, but at the same time, certain recruits aren't going to want to talk to you no matter who your name is if you don't have enough money to entice them to want to listen to you. And Deion Sanders has had plenty of press conferences where he has said that NIL is really pivotal to having success in college football. And if he goes to Florida State or UCF or Florida, he will have more NIL money from his NIL collective at those schools to get some of those big time recruits that he's been trying to go after that Colorado has come up short of getting. The reasoning for Deion Sanders to leave Colorado is not that it's a P4 job. It's because it's a power forward job. However, there are other jobs that give him a better chance to win and win at a higher, more consistent level than what he could possibly do at Colorado. Colorado's program has a ceiling on it. And from a historical standpoint, Colorado has never been a program that's consistently recruited at a decent level. It's not easy to win at Colorado, hence why Deion Sanders is having more success now at that school than what they've had since the freaking 90s. It's hard to recruit, which makes it hard to win there consistently, and it's incredibly going to be hard to turn that program into a national title contender. Deion Sanders also is somebody who loves being in the spotlight. He loves all the attention being on him. Being at a school like Florida State, where he made himself a household name at, would definitely have college football buzzing. And everybody always talks about Colorado now, but imagine if Deion was to go to FSU. People wouldn't stop talking about Florida State football. People wouldn't stop talking about UCF or Florida if Deion were to take those jobs. Those jobs are better because they have more resources, which makes it easier for Deion to win. I don't get why it's a hot take that a head coach who inherited a 1-win program turns it around to an 8-10-win program in only 2 years. It's unfathomable for him to take another job once this season concludes, when we've seen this several times in college football. Why are you guys trusting Deion Sanders' words? All of these coaches always lie about staying at their current program just to go elsewhere. Kalen DeBoer said he wasn't leaving Washington, up, jumped, and left early January after national championship to replace Nick Saban down there in Tuscaloosa. So I don't get why I'm getting so much hate and backlash for my opinion that Deion is going to leave Colorado. People just want to make it seem like this dude hasn't lied about committing and staying at a program long term before. He said that when he first got to Jackson State, he wanted to build something special. He wanted to not only help Jackson State, but the rest of HBCUs kind of be talked about more. And instead, he up, jumps, and leaves and takes a job at Colorado. So if he left Jackson State for Colorado, what makes you think that he wouldn't leave Colorado for anywhere else if he views it as a better opportunity? You see, Jackson State for Deion Sanders was a stepping stone. It was an opportunity to show that he could be a solid head coach in college football. And he proved that with the success that he had in a short amount of time at Jackson State, which is why he got the Colorado job. Now, the Colorado job is another stepping stone, another opportunity to show that, hey, I ain't no fluke. I was winning at Jackson State, and I'm winning in the Power 4 conference, so that means that I can win anywhere. I can win in the SEC. I can win in the Big Ten. I can win in the toughest conferences in college football. And I can win having less. But if you give me more, I can dominate. That's why it isn't crazy to see Deion Sanders leaving Colorado after this season. Look at the recruiting. If Colorado was really going to be Deion Sanders' long-term destination, the recruiting would be much better. You don't have this low of a recruiting class if you don't plan on leaving after the season. And the thing about recruiting is that when recruits commit to Colorado, they are pretty much getting recruited, and they are committing to Deion Sanders because Deion Sanders is the program. Wherever he goes, he's the program. The recruits are going to follow him. The players are going to follow him most likely as well. Anywhere Deion goes after this season, Jordan Lewis, or not Jordan Lewis, but Jordan Seaton is going to follow. If he flips Juju Lewis, Juju isn't flipping to Colorado. He's flipping to Coach Prime because he's going to go wherever he goes. So Deion Sanders isn't tied to Colorado for the long term if he doesn't want to be. But there are a lot of schools out there who are going to have head coaching vacancies eventually. And Deion Sanders is going to be a top target for a good amount of them because they can give him more resources and they can pay him more than what he currently is getting at Colorado. Just because this dude has come out and said that he's going to stay at Colorado, he isn't leaving, doesn't mean that he's going to stay, because we've seen plenty of times with Deion Sanders, he say one thing and then does the complete opposite. Not just with him, but with other coaches in the past as well. This is just how the coaching carousel works, because nobody's going to be upfront and honest and say in the middle of the season, oh yeah, like I'm going to leave for a better job after this season concludes. Nobody says that.